Crime, security, wildlife. On board with the Miami Water Cops. Today, booze cruise. Water Cop Lily comes face to face with a drunken boater.
I ran. I got a DUI, and he's giving me a big problem. I need you out here on a boat.
Airboats, patrolling the Everglades on high-speed craft. And green-eyed monsters. The special ops trainees learn to see in the dark.
Increase your vision 75 times at night.
Miami, a playground paradise for bad boys and beautiful people alike. And a centre of crime, especially marine crime. There are thousands of vessels on these waters and almost no guidelines on who can drive them. Out here, it's a free-for-all. It's the job of the City of Miami Marine Patrol to police these waters. Usually they operate in pairs, but today, Officer Lily Bethencourt is out patrolling alone. She's the only woman in the Marine Patrol unit. In fact, the second one ever.
Being the only female, I don't mind it. I get along great with the guys I work with, and they know me and I know them, and we're comfortable with each other.
Lily patrols alone, but she does carry a gun.
In the Marine Patrol unit, we're issued rifles, Mini 14 rifles, which the other patrol officers aren't. I guess because we're on the boat and we're dealing with further distances, they feel that we need the rifle, which is a .223 caliber. I didn't grow up around guns, so it was pretty weird the first time I fired a gun. But yeah, I'm over it now, and I feel a lot more comfortable with it, and it shows in my shooting. I definitely shoot a lot better now than when I first started. A lot of people in Miami have guns, so stop the boat!
Lily's attention is grabbed by a boat going at 4 times the speed limit. There are strict speed laws here, and this boater was blatantly defying them.
He's not happy about me stopping him. I'm already prepared for a possible attitude.
Lily is trained for every eventuality, but out here alone, anything can happen. The Florida Everglades, 1.5 million acres of sawgrass and alligator-infested swamp. Patrolling here, Officer John Conti of the Florida Marine Patrol Wildlife Unit. Conti travels by airboat, a unique craft designed to drive on both water and land. It's powered by an aeroplane engine and propeller and steered by rudders in the airstream. This one has a top speed of 50 miles an hour. The Everglades are a centre for illegal poaching and a popular destination for drug drops. Conti has to be prepared for anything. Special Ops Marine Security Training Course. These 4 guys are putting themselves through an intense water-based training in a bid to become private maritime security agents. Luso Filo, about to sail around the world, he needs survival skills to protect himself. Don Edwards and Casey Morgan, both in the US Army Special Forces. This course will give them skills to work outside the Army. And Trenton Mello. He's had to overcome extreme fear in his determination to qualify for work in the lucrative yacht security business. Next exercise, night vision. Learning to see in the dark is crucial for security agents, and instructor Dave Kellerman introduces them to some tricks of the trade. Night vision goggles.
Okay, white light and night vision goggles do not get along. And when we do our surveillance detection exercise out here, I'm going to show you by how having bright white lights on a boat renders these inefficient for a bad guy that's surveilling your boat. Okay, if a bad guy is running a boat at you and has his dashboard lights on, but he has no other lights on. You can see him with these. So if you're being vigilant on your watch and you're scanning your horizon, you've got a much better chance of picking up something with these than naked eye. He's going to increase your vision about 75 times at night for detecting a boat approaching. Okay?
That's because it's very light.
Now you've got full movement. You can
Goggles on. They're about to be put to the test.
It's not going to fall off your face.
Right.
Okay.
Downtown Miami, Lily is issuing the speeding Cuban boater with a ticket. He needs to sign the ticket and has 30 days to pay the $50 fine.
Firmando el ticket no está diciendo que tú estás guilty, o que tú estás diciendo que estás guilty, nada más que dice que tú cogiste el ticket. Este ticket, ¿ok? Necesito tu firma aquí.
But he claims he's not guilty and refuses to sign. This could mean arrest or jail. Now he goes on the offensive and claims she's not a cop.
Sí, Ciudad de Miami Police.
Eso pistola y esas cosas no significan nada. Identificación.
Sí, pero,
¿Sí o no?
ok, mira,
Sí,
esta identificación aquí.
Yo puedo tener, yo tengo una familia que me puede
Ok, chicos, soy un policía.
Yo quiero que tú me muestres tu identificación.
Ok, esta es la identificación que tengo.
Eso no es eso es un pullover, eso es un radio, es una pistola solamente.
Ok, sí,
¿No?
pero
¿Sí o no?
vamos a ir a Watson Island Boat Ramp ahora mismo. Tú ves, no, yo te voy a hacer prueba.
Staying out here alone is risky for Lily. She's gonna need assistance.
Ok,
¿Tú me puedes escuchar?
ve a Ramp, cualquier bote. Te voy a enseñar.
Special ops, night surveillance exercise.
All right, guys, what I want you to do is I want you to familiarize yourself with the night vision goggles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get in the Zodiac, and I'm going to go a few hundred meters out of here. I may have something in my hand. I want you to try and identify it, okay?
Okay. For me, I would probably get
In the dark, a boat is difficult to protect. It's easy to approach under cover. There are no alarms and nowhere to run. Security agents need to be able to recognize every unusual sound or movement at night. Using military night vision technology, the trainee's task is to pick out Kellerman in the dark and monitor his actions.
When he comes by and Don hits him with the spotlight, take the night vision goggles off and just watch him with your naked eye.
The goggles amplify light 35,000 times. They work by turning everything green because the human eye can detect more shades of green than any other color.
Get out.
And they spot Kellerman.
Just when you pulled it out of the blade? No, I know you're holding something underneath.
He's holding a gun.
That would be binoculars.
So far, the trainees are doing well, but the exercise isn't over. They mustn't lower their guard. Kellerman's approaching the boat again. This time he's coming in close, using the yachts in the marina as cover. He's going to try and board the boat. The trainee's task is to observe him and prevent that. But they're looking in the wrong direction. He's right under their noses. They could be about to fail their test. Trenton hears something, but fails to spot Kellerman. Something alerts Don, but he turns back. A bad move. Kellerman's on board, and he's not happy. The guys just failed, and in a major way. 4 of them on alert, and not one saw him climb up on the bow. He tells them how to prevent this happening in real life.
All right, here's the deal. They'll motor up to the bow of the boat, generally. If you're in there by yourself and you're securing the boat, or you're just on your own boat, you could take one of those motion sensor alarms, and you could set it up right here, or you could set it up right in front of the pilot house, and it would cover the whole bow area. So if someone did come over the bow like that, and you weren't able to physically watch it, it'd let you know the real... Exactly.
What would you do if if the guy comes in?
Try to detect them before they get to the boat. I mean, that's what this class is all about, really. Detect, deter, and then defend. We want to use defense as a last resort.
And that last resort may be on the cards for Lily. The Cuban won't back down. Lily is ready to defend herself. She's armed with pepper spray and she'll use it if she has to. Made from cayenne peppers, it'll temporarily blind him and restrict his breathing. And up close, Lily can smell drink. She suspects he's a BUI, boater under the influence. She needs to get him onto dry land.
92 to 93. Go ahead. Hey lads, I'm gonna need your assistance. I got a BUI, and he's giving me a big problem. Do me a favor, meet me at the boat ramp, and if you can, raise a DUI unit so they can meet us there. I have a feeling that he's under the influence, and that's why I've been having this problem so far. There's also a question about my authority, which there should be no question now as soon as my partner pulls up. He's in a City of Miami police car. 92 to 93.
Go ahead.
He's coming up in a 24-foot well craft, and it's got a red trim on the top half.
Lily has finally got the BUI to accompany her to shore.
Oye, ahí mismo, para ahí mismo. I had to repeat the same thing about 4 times to try to explain to him why he was stopped. I noticed his eyes were bloodshot. He also had a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on him.
After the break, drink drive tests. And the special ops trainees go after a stolen boat.
Don't leave home without it.
Downtown Miami. Water cop Lily is dealing with a suspected drunk boater. He refused to sign a speeding ticket and reckons she wasn't a cop. She's got him onto dry land for a drink drive test. In Florida, suspected drunk drivers can't be breathalyzed at the scene. Instead, they have roadside drink drive tests. If they fail these tests, they'll be arrested and then breathalyzed. Test 1, to follow the track of a pen. Test 2, can he balance on 1 foot and count to 30? Test 3, to walk in a straight line, testing balance and ability to follow instruction.
He's probably not going to be over the legal limit, but without knowing for sure that he's going to be above the limit, we don't take a chance in arresting him. You know, I'll just make sure that it's his friend who's going to drive home, you know. And,
But arrest is still on the cards if he continues to refuse to sign the speeding ticket.
I'm going to ask him to sign the ticket again. I have a feeling this time he's going to be a little more agreeable to signing it than he was on the boat. So now that he knows that we are cops. Yeah. Okay, ¿ahora lo vas a firmar?
Yo puedo hablar contigo.
Okay. No, ya yo hablé contigo allí, ya no quiero hablar contigo más. Ahora, o firmas el ticket o te llevo a la cárcel ahora mismo.
After nearly 2 hours, he finally signs.
When I first stopped him, he felt like he was being stopped wrongfully, which, you know, it happens sometimes. You know, no one likes to be told they're doing something wrong, and in this case, he took it a little too far. I guess he decided because I was alone on the boat, he could have this attitude and there wouldn't be consequences. I was fully prepared to arrest him if it came down to that.
Dealing with a drunk boater is hard enough on the water, but in the vast expanse of the Florida Everglades, it can be impossible. As Officer John Conti knows.
Last year, I was patrolling approximately 12, 13 miles from a boat ramp. It was 2:30 in the morning. I was the only officer working. I pulled 2 men on an airboat, and they had been drinking beer all night long. Both the operator and the passenger could hardly sit up in their seats. What I would have had to do to actually arrest that individual was to get this individual 45 miles to the breath alcohol testing facility. And by the time that I got the individual there, he'd have been sober 3 times over.
So far, no drunk boaters out today. In an average day, Conti can cover over 300 miles of this extreme terrain. And in this wilderness, You never know what crime is around the corner. It's his job to know the people who come out here and to keep an eye on their activities. This boater is definitely breaking one law. He's got no flag.
How you doing? Not too bad. I see the pole, but I don't see a flag.
Yeah, you can see the antenna got slapped.
How about a fire extinguisher, life jacket?
A missing flag is a serious business. In 12-foot high grass, it can be the only way to find someone and save a life. But apart from the flag, the rest of the boat's safety equipment seems to be in order.
Okay. What I'm going to do is issue a written warning. I'm giving you a $50 break by writing you a warning. But make sure you get something up there because, I mean, obviously on this type of a trail, you're going to be able to see somebody coming or going. Oh, yeah. But you get some higher grass, and there's a lot of places that they're not going to be able to see you coming around.
Well, that's why I have mine at the top of my antenna, because I have the advantage.
Right, the higher it is, the better, the more visible it is.
This guy is new to the Everglades and doesn't realize just how complicated the terrain is.
Your GPS coordinate, your position. If you don't know the airboat trails, GPS coordinate isn't going to do you much good. If the water's low and you need to go straight in a line that way, you might have to go 10 miles that way to hit a trail that'll come back to them. Yeah. This is a written warning. If I see you again with no flag, the excuse that it fell off isn't going to work.
I didn't know that it was an actual reg. I knew that, you know, just from running with my buddies, that it's just good common sense to have one.
Right.
Well, I appreciate it.
To police out here, Conti needs to know more than just the terrain. Miles from base and any backup, he must instantly assess potentially difficult situations. Conti positions himself carefully so he can keep an eye on both of these airboats at the same time and runs through some checks on them.
Can we check you guys' safety equipment real quick? Life jacket, fire extinguisher?
Yeah, I got part of that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I got life jackets.
I got my fire extinguisher back in the truck.
Let's see the life jackets.
See both of them? Got one here. Got another one up there too.
That's good enough.
Here's the other one.
Okay. Is that the only two that you got on there?
That's it.
Okay. Those aren't going to float anybody the shape they're in.
No? Okay.
Okay. Seeing as how you guys are doing so good with the rest of your safety equipment, your flag and your life jackets, I'm only going to issue a warning for not having the fire extinguisher. According to state law, you have to carry a fire extinguisher on any vessel. Okay?
Okay.
You do have your registration, correct?
If it fits in my wallet, I got it. I got a bunch of registrations. There's part of it. Okay, thank you.
I don't have my ID. It's in my truck.
What's your name?
Charles Henson.
1028 Florida vessel.
Conti radios back to base to check the airboat registration.
780 Juliet X-ray. Okay, Charles. Like I said, it's just a warning. You can toss
And this boater gets a written warning.
Okay. You got what you need. I appreciate it.
Did you ever get that DL and DOB?
You guys have your fishing license with you?
Same place the wallet is.
42, go ahead.
Charles Henson, DOB 510-1972. Do you need anything else?
1054. Okay.
Just a warning this time, but out here, Conti will see him again. And at a nearby camp, the airboater with no flag has found a solution to the missing flag problem.
Dad, are those somebody's boxers?
Yeah.
Special Ops. Something's come up that's not on the course agenda. Instructor Dave Kellerman may have spotted a stolen boat in a nearby marina, and recovering a stolen boat is big money. This one could net Kellerman an easy 75 grand. Under cover of night, he's going to go back to see what he can find.
If we find a fake plate on it, we know something is definitely up with it. I need one other person to go with me as a backup on, I don't want too many guys to go, so one is what I need. Here we go. Shoot for it. Okay. I'm gonna get some warmer clothes on and we're gonna...
It's a live mission, and it might be dangerous.
Well, be careful approaching the boat, you know? I mean, the guys might think you're gonna rob the boat from them, so...
Let's get ready to do it.
Anything could happen out there, and Kellerman's going prepared.
Don't leave home without it.
This is a risky operation. The boat could be occupied. They could get arrested for trespassing. But it's a risk Kellerman's prepared to take.
If at all possible, I'm going to read you these numbers and have you copy them down.
The marina is less than a minute away. The boat's in sight. Kellerman's mission, to discover if the hull identification number is fake.
This was not part of this training. This isn't a canned exercise. This is a live operation that we've stumbled across during our recon for our training sites.
Let's talk about this for a second. The dock's pretty well deserted. Yeah. Here's the deal. There's enough to go on right now that it's either a misrepresented boat or a stolen boat. I think it's a stolen boat. So, if we are discovered while we're doing it, we can make an immediate call to law enforcement. That'll blow our contract possibilities out of the water, but at least it'll keep that boat here.
He needs to get up close to find the number.
Okay, if you'll note underneath where the original serial number is supposed to be, it's ground off. There's gouge marks right here in the fiberglass where they've ground off the original serial number. In the state of Florida, it's a felony to grind off a hull identification number. The only thing that could possibly explain this situation to being legal is that there's a screw up in the paperwork in the Coast Guard registration system or documentation system. That's highly unlikely. And what we've decided to do is to go ahead and go to law enforcement with this to make maximum training value for the guys. Hopefully tomorrow, if we can get law enforcement involved, we'll be able to culminate the event. Bear in mind, our job in this business is not to seek the arrest of the people. That's a law enforcement responsibility. We're here to recover property. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
The Special Ops trainees go after that reward. Lily writes out another ticket. And John has 100 miles to cover before he can clock off.